Okay, so today what I want to start on is I want to start on a new project, which is implementing this paper. What this is it's essentially linear type theory, which builds on dependent types, but adds linear constraints for resource usages. So what that means is that, let's see if I can find a good example. We'll do functions, I guess. So if you have a function, it takes in something of type S, so this is just some type, and produces something of type T, which is just, again, some other type. Rather than saying this function just takes in an S and takes in something of type S, and it can be used 1 time, 0 time, a million times, it doesn't matter. You add this little annotation to it, this little pi up here, that says how many times it can be used. And there's some different models that you can have for values of pi here. The one that I want to be doing is 0 or 1, because I think that one is trivially consistent, whereas there's a problem if you do the 0, 1 infinity. That is not trivially consistent, unfortunately. But what I want to be implementing this in is I want to be implementing this in a language called Standard ML, and particularly the Moscow ML version of it. The reason for Moscow ML is because it's pretty easy to bootstrap this and actually compile it, which is fairly important to me. I don't like when I can't bootstrap a language or a language implementation. So Standard ML of New Jersey and MLTon and PolyML for that matter, which are the more popular, obvious choices for a standard ML, they're quite difficult to bootstrap, essentially. So we'll be doing it in Moscow ML. All right, let's get started. And the project is going to be called QTL because I'm very thoughtful, very inspired, which just stands for quantitatively typed language. So we'll come in here and git init. Is it bare or is it just git init? Yeah, that's fine. So is this, yeah, this is a repo. Okay, brilliant, and this is a bare repo. I think we need a file. Can we do an empty commit? No, we can't. That's fine. Okay, so what I want this language to look like is to be very S expression based. So if we go over here, let's come down and take a look. We'll maybe get into some of the very specifics later, but essentially what I want this language to look like when you're writing it is I don't know, like function, variable, right? Define function, parameter 1, parameter 2, do something here with parameters, you know, like it's pretty much what you would expect from an S expression based language. So I don't want to reinvent the wheel too much with syntax. I would like to just see about getting this working. And one of the main features that I want from it is I want it to compile down to pretty standard and readable or idiomatic C. And the reason for that is so you can have all of your pure, your dependently typed, your linearly typed language, or your quantitatively typed, I suppose. You can have all your quantitatively typed logic in this little language, this little scheme language, and then all your impure stuff essentially in C. Some other languages that have quantitative type theory, the only one I know of is Idris 2, and it's not great to try to interface Idris 2 with something else. So that's one of the main things I want to get from this, is I want to be able to have like a small little impure orchestrating kernel of sorts written in C that then calls out quite easily to the pure quantitative stuff. Okay. All right, so what we're going to start with, we'll just start with a main. Do we do SML? Is that it? Yeah, well, maybe. Okay, maybe. Does it recognize data type? It does. Okay, brilliant. So if I understand, if I remember correctly, Moscow ML does not have a automatic main function, so we will have to make one. I guess we'll go fun main equals. It's been a hot minute since I've written some standard ML, so we're gonna have to bear with each other here. Well, I should make better use of this screen real estate. Like, all of this is going to be unused. You know what I can do? That's fine. Okay. And do I have mouse support here? I don't. That's fine. We'll deal with this later. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to be able to read in from currently just standard input, but eventually from a file. So let's do that. Let's see if we can find text IO. Here we go, and we've got input all. That seems pretty good. We've got a standard in. Input all from standard in. Let's try that. Let's just try input output. So we'll go. Is it let? I think it's let input equals text IO dot input all text IO dot standard in, I guess. And then we will just echo it out. We'll start with something really basic. Just output. We need outstream and a vector. Okay. In text.io.output. And then it's outstream and then vector. So we want text.io standard out input. And that's it. That's it. So we'll see if we can get this working. Mos MLC, I think. Main.sml. Okay, what don't we like? So let val. I'm not exactly sure how this works. Is it end? Okay, standard in is not a thing. It's standard in, and I presume it's standard out. All right. Type clash. Expression of type unit does not have type A to B. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Output outstream vector to a unit. Output outstream vector to a unit does not have type A to B. Okay, that's not what it dislikes. What does it dislike about this? That's the question. And can we get rid of the text IO? Is that allowed? Is there like an open? I'm a bit more familiar with OCaml. Okay, so we got the same error, so we can maybe get rid of those. We'll keep that in mind. We'll come back to that. Let's take a look. This is the grammar. It's not quite what I'm after. What is this? This is the language overview. That was the library. So let's go to owner's manual. Interactive system. Compilation units. Yeah, sounds kind of like what I want. Let's go back to compilation units. Okay. What's a top level unit though? Do I need to do this? Top level? Okay, that changed nothing. Very good, very good. There's a lot of shit here. I'm gonna need a makefile just to manage this. Okay, that wasn't what I wanted. What I want to know is how to run a main. That's what I want to know. How do I do that? Okay, sure. This compiles it, but how do I... Surely I can make it into an executable, right? Surely that's a possibility. I didn't overlook this, did I? Moscow ML compile executable. Okay, this looks good. P full. What is P full? Will that just magically do what I want? No. Okay, so it's actually complaining about a type error, but why? Is this not how I... Is this not how you do this? Where is it? Is it this one? You know, I'd probably just take a quick... Yeah. Sure, whatever. Just pick one. So we have fun. Yeah, so we do have the fun and then its variables. That is how you do that. We do have a fun main equals let... You can do that? Interesting. Let in end. Oh, do I need to... Okay, let's try that. We'll get rid of all this. We'll do that. We'll bring this back. We're off to a rocky start, as we always are. Can I... Is that what you want? Oh, that's what you want. Okay, okay, brilliant. Okay, step one. Now, what I want to know is, do I need this? No, apparently I don't. Okay, cool. So we don't need that. We can just go mosml main.c. And I probably will need a makefile for this. So we'll just edit a makefile. We'll go sml equals mos mlc. We'll go... I don't know how this is going to interact with interface files. That's sort of the main thing I'm pondering here. But for now, we'll just go files equals main.sml, and then what we'll do is I guess I want to know what to call the program.